On today's show, the Mavs have big questions to answer this offseason. PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, do they have to trade one of those? We'll answer that and more on today's Locked On Mavs. All right, I got Mark Tatum back up.
I mean, if we get top two, that's insane.
Fourth pick is the Charlotte Hornets.
The Charlotte Hornets.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Stop it. Let's go. Stop. The number one pick will go to the Dallas Mavericks. Cooper Flagg will fly in Dallas.
Dogs, all of us, all five.
You are Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast.
No one's dying.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm gonna get a city like that.
And welcome. You are locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Dallas Mavericks for 10 years. Thanks for being an everydayer, making Locked On Mavs your first listen. Joining me, as always, my co-host, media member covering the Dallas Mavericks for 10 years, right alongside me, the questioning queen, the one more thinking. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
Are we about
You're
to see Rick Carlisle in the finals again?
Wow. From 2011 to now.
What a flex by Rick. Rick was like, hey, I kind of see the writing on the wall coaching Luka and stuff right now. Their relationship was kind of rocky, and it's like, you know what? I think I'm just going to head out and go to Indiana. And bam, no time. He might be in the NBA finals again.
He did the "I'm a head out" meme before it became a meme, because he did head out, because he was the one that left. They say, oh, you got fired, or I don't know. We talked about that a ton, but like I don't know.
He wasn't going to get fired that offseason. Maybe during the season.
He was going to be on the hot seat. That's right.
Yes, yeah, but he made it. He made the call, and hats off to him too. This dude was been all in on Tyrese Halliburton since
the draft,
coming out of the draft, and he wanted Halliburton super bad. Saw the vision with it, and even the style of play of what Indiana's doing and this fast paced stuff and Turner at the 5 and stuff like this is stuff that Rick kind of wanted to do, and now he's getting to kind of stretch his wings again and get everything he wants, kind of, and have Halliburton as this guy that he's believed in.
Just a really well-built team, like good for them. Lots of depth, and then obviously, if you're run by Carlisle, there's going to be some Warlock magic in there.
I'll be rooting for him in the finals. It was a funny moment last night during the game.
Why do you hate SGA?
Halliburton got Towns on a switch. It was in the fourth quarter, and Rick called a timeout, and Halliburton just stood there and stared over at Rick while like,
yeah,
I had Cat on the switch. But
that looks familiar.
Go Pacers. Yeah.
We've definitely seen Luka do that before to Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, we have. And Rondo.
Today's episode, we're going to get into some either or questions for the Mavs in the offseason. Some, would you rather do Collin Sexton or Lonzo Ball? Would you rather trade Caleb Martin or Max Christie? A bunch of questions like that, because the Mavericks are going to have some big questions to answer this offseason. So let's get started. Isaac's going to give me a bunch of questions, either or, and go through them, and we're going to make some big choices for the Mavs today.
I'm so ready. I have some like funny ones too, so it should be good. Let's just start with probably the biggest question right now. I think with Mavs fans, with that they're probably going into this off season or the next month with, of if they want to go out and swing for a stopgap point guard that's more than a minimum contract, then you're probably gonna have to trade for him. And if it's a bigger contract and it's somebody that is not in the range of an Omax and Hardy package, it's probably going to require a Daniel Gafford or a PJ Washington. Two guys around the same type of, money wise, two guys entering a contract year, two guys that are very important to the Mavs success over the past few seasons. They both came in separate deals at that trade deadline. Nico swung for them. Great moves. Awesome moves. They both played well in Dallas. If you had to prioritize one, either or, who are you prioritizing and keeping and extending if you had to pick one, PJ or Daniel Gafford?
Man, it's a tough choice. They both have certain roles, but I think they are both brought onto a team that is not that team anymore. If you really think about it and put it down. I have been on the keep PJ Washington train, even though he doesn't have as clean of a position right now as Gafford would. Gafford is the backup center, but your best player is a center. Like Anthony Davis is. As much as he wants to play 4 and he'll play next to Lively, they'll close games with Anthony Davis at the 5.
Yeah.
Like that is optimal. You're not going to close games with Daniel Gafford very often. In the regular season, you probably will some, but you may close games some with with Lively. We've seen it in these playoffs. You know, Miles Turner's closing games. They've had obviously like Chet Holmgren closing games. Like you have centers closing games a lot of time. We're not in the era of the just play the death lineups and the small ball all throughout. Like I think we're kind of past that, and you need some size. But PJ Washington, you will close with, and I think PJ also helps you with those bigger wing lineups that you're gonna need at times. And I just think that he would play more. He played like 10 more minutes a game last year than Gafford did. Like think about what you're giving up there. And I know that Anthony Davis and Lively are injury prone, and that's been one of the big pushbacks that I've seen from a lot of people saying you can't let Gafford go. You have 2 injury prone centers. And that's true. If one of those guys goes down, then all of a sudden you only have 1 center and you have Dwight Powell and then whatever in two-way guys you bring on. We're having the Kyler Kelly issue, like, again, next season. I do get that. I just think PJ's a better player. And so that's where I end up.
Well, I think, it's positional need too. I think we're always looking for those wings and the defensive versatility that he's added to and gotten better at. I think he can. You could swap him out different spots there in the lineup and playing with Cooper Flagg, AD, and have all this like lineup flexibility. And I think it's important to say like we're not haters of Daniel Gafford. Love Daniel Gafford, but he's also 26 years old, and he's played well in Dallas and had some good moments. That like somebody like I don't blame him if he wants starter type of money. And somebody will probably give him a pretty dang good contract to be their starting center. And it's not, he said that the other day and somebody's like, oh, you're sharing that like rumor of it, whatever. It's not even about the rumor. I don't even care about the rumor. It's like, if I'm him at 26 and I'm looking at like my next payday, I'm going to want more money than what I'm making now. And he deserves it. And there's a need for it across the league. And if you're Dallas, you've committed to Anthony Davis, you committed a draft pick to Dereck Lively. So of course, if you could keep him on a new contract at like $15 million a year to be your third center, that'd be awesome. But I just think his next contract is going to be in the 20s and all that. So I think if I had to pick, it would be PJ over Gafford.
To keep,
yeah.
I also just don't like to hemorrhage shooters at all. Like somebody posed a trade recently. We were talking about Drew Holiday yesterday with Slightly. Somebody posed a trade that was like Klay and Omax, and I think it was something else for Drew Holiday. And I'm like, if you remove Klay from this team, the shooting on this team is not great. All of a sudden, that is a huge weakness for your team with Kyrie out. When Kyrie comes back, you have Kyrie, you have Klay, you have Max Christie, you got PJ still, what he can do. You've got some shooters there. When you take Klay away, all of a sudden your shooting just completely drops off, and that's something this team's going to need. When you have a bunch of size, you need a bunch of shooting around it. Yeah.
All right, let me do a non-Mavs one for a second, or I guess it's kind of Mavs, just for the funsies of it. Minimum contract for the Mavs, you have to sign one: Westbrook or Ben Simmons.
How is this not for the Mavs? This is Mavs related.
This is Mavs, yeah, sure.
Westbrook or Ben Simmons?
You have to sign one.
I'm signing Westbrook. He just had hand surgery. He'll come back and he'll be a better shooter. He just needed that hand to get fixed.
Which hand is Ben Simmons shooting with?
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Do you know that? Did you hear the Rafael Barlow revelation this summer?
No.
That Omax is left-handed.
No, I told you this. Omax told me this. When I was, we talked about it on the podcast. Yeah,
I think I talked about it with him as well, but that he should switch too. So maybe you get both of them, get Ben Simmons in and get Omax. They can both switch.
No, it was the weirdest thing because I was there right there in the tunnel with him, and he had the cast on his right arm from the surgery, the wrist stuff, and he was signing autographs with his left. And I was like, hey, that's pretty impressive for your left hand there. He's like, well, I'm left-handed, and then I felt super stupid because I've been a big fan of him and all the stuff. So. All right, so you take Westbrook. I think I would take Westbrook too over Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an easy one.
I don't know that one.
Coming up, let's get into some of the other free agents that are actually there for the Mavericks. Collin Sexton, Lonzo Ball, trade options. Let's talk about those guys and stuff like that and more. Come on. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by DoorDash. DoorDash is there for you when you don't want to go be somewhere else and you want to stay where you are and you want to get that stuff sent to you. They've got a deal right now for NBA fans during the 2025 NBA playoffs. It's called They Swoosh, You Score. Anytime a player drops 50 or more in a playoff game. It happened in the finals. Giannis did drop 50 in the finals not that long ago. Dash Pass members score a free 3-piece crispy tenders combo from Wingstop the very next day. Just place an order of $20 or more. Use the code Wingstop50, the number 50 at the end, at checkout. And that combo is yours. Crispy, delicious, totally free. Offer valid noon to midnight the day after the game. Terms apply. Here's the play. Sign up for Dash Pass. Unlock this and more exclusive deals all season long. When any player scores 50 or more in a playoff game, Dash Pass members can grab a free 3-piece crispy tenders combo from Wingstop the very next day with a $20 or more order and code Wingstop50. Wingstop, the 2 words, and then 50, all one word, the number's 50. That's Dash Pass. Your door to more savings, more flavor, and more ways to win. Terms apply.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad, what we call our listeners. We appreciate each and every one of you for checking out the show. We've got a text line where we'll text you all kinds of stuff. Any kind of rumor we read, we'll send you our thoughts right away on it. You don't have to wait for the show. You don't have to wait for tweets and all that. We'll send you our thoughts on that. News updates, do game previews all throughout the season, game notes throughout the season, Q&As, all kinds of stuff like that. 214-643-8637 is the number. There's a link in the description as well. You can check it out. It helps support the show. All right, Isaac, you're giving me either or questions about the Mavericks and some big offseason questions that they have.
Yeah, either or for the Mavs. Collin Sexton or Lonzo Ball.
Collin Sexton's been brought up a decent amount when we have done these player like guard shows. And Collin Sexton's an interesting one because
I haven't seen him in like too much rumors yet.
No.
And that's fascinating to me because he's expiring contract.
He's on a $19.2 basically $1 million expiring deal. So it would take you would lose somebody and you'd probably lose somebody and Hardy for that deal, right? Hardy just to get the money up there, right? Like
probably like a Gafford and a Hardy. Yeah.
Would you do a Gafford and a Hardy for a Collin Sexton? And I don't know. I'm not sure where I am with Collin Sexton at this point in his career. I feel like there have been times in his career I would say yes. There have been times in his career I'd be like, absolutely not. And I don't know where we stand. I'd have to go check more. The thing that's so hard about this, what Jazz games have mattered to where you're like evaluating this player and how he plays in a high leverage situation. You're just kind of like shooting in the dark and hoping that some of the times that he's played well will come back in some kind of way. You know what I mean?
When I think of Collin Sexton, I still think of the time in which he was in college.
The three on 5.
Still think about that. Yeah, I mean, obviously Collin Sexton is younger than Lonzo, not as many injuries as Lonzo. Double the salary. Basically, Lonzo's at that like 10, as you said. Collin Sexton's around that 19 part there, both on expiring contracts. So it's not like there's like long-term money with that. I'm kind of with you. I need to do a little bit more research on a Collin Sexton to see exactly how I feel about him. I'm not opposed to it
Has
at
Collin
all.
Sexton ever played in the playoffs? Just gut feeling.
Gosh, did one of those Cavs teams make the playoffs? I'm gonna say yes.
No, he's never played in the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, though, you don't necessarily need this player to be a really good playoff player that you're bringing in as a stopgap. It would be nice for that player to be, but
yeah,
you're bringing in a regular season player. And he averaged 18 points a game last year, 4 assists, shot 40% from 3. Like he was pretty good for the Jazz, but like, what does pretty good for the Jazz mean? I also know by the end of the season, Locke was on his show like looking for point guard answers. So I don't know if that's
well. I think they are looking for long-term point guard stuff. I mean, this is why you see Jeremiah Fears mock to him at the 5th spot.
But why is the 26-year-old that average 18 points a game? Why is he not the answer for them? That's what I always come back to for stuff like this. It's
because
like, all right,
the rest of the roster isn't great.
Yeah, but if the fans and the media covering are not sold on a guy, then why would he all of a sudden come to the Mavericks and be like, all right, we're sold? And I don't know. That does happen sometimes. Spencer Dinwiddie was terrible for the Wizards and then comes over to the Mavs and was great when he came back. Like,
yeah, I mean, and they don't need Gafford, so they could like it'd have to be probably a 3-team trade or something like that. But Lonzo or Collin Sexton, you got to pick one.
I'll take Lonzo.
I think so too, but I do want to do some more research on Collin Sexton. All right, let's do this right now. Dereck Lively or Cason Wallace?
I got to choose them for the Mavs, or I think who's going to be who's better.
Moving forward.
I'm taking Dereck Lively. I'm going to believe that he's going to be not as injury prone going forward, that some of these freak accident injuries will even out, that weightlifting and getting his NBA body will help him with the injuries and stuff. I'm going to believe in Dereck Lively because I think that type of player is more valuable than the type of player Cason Wallace is.
I'm going to take Lively. I don't know if it's as value because I think Cason Wallace as a point of attack defender and as a guard, like I think he's really good. I think he would be a lot better even outside of OKC too. Kind of like having his own team or own role. I say them, obviously reminder to the listeners, they were traded for each other on draft night. OKC moved up 2 spots to Dallas's spot to take Cason Wallace at 10. Dallas moved back 2 spots, got Dereck Lively. But anyway, I've just been watching Cason Wallace in the playoffs, and I like Cason Wallace. So, but I'm with you. I'll take Dereck Lively.
Is Cason Wallace a top 10 guard in the league?
Well, no, because the guard.
Right? Is Lively like a top 10 guard or a top 10 center in the league? Maybe like top 15.
I need to look at.
You could talk me. You could talk me into that probably.
Yeah. Okay. Valid point. So I've seen some people throw out there of like, hey, if Dallas is going to go get a point guard, they might have to like trade one of their wings that they have. And you look at the 3 guys, Najee Marshall, Caleb Martin, Max Christie, all make around the same number wise, committed salary wise for the next couple of seasons. So let's just say between Caleb Martin and Max Christie, which one are you saying I got to keep that guy?
I'm keeping Max Christie.
Me too. Yeah.
I'm going to believe in Max Christie long-term too. I'm going hopeful on these young guys for sure.
I am with you though. You said this, I think it was on yesterday's podcast. And I think people are like not valuing Caleb Martin as much just because of the Grimes trade. And it's like, oh, we lost another trade and Martin's injuries and stuff. Caleb Martin's a really good defender. And I was all about him. Like we did a one more thing about trade targets going into the trade deadline. I was like, dude, I think he's one of the perfect fits for Dallas. Now, yeah, everything transpired, but still,
that was before.
That was before everything. So I think it was the pod I dropped the day on Saturday of the Luka trade.
Should we call it PLT, pre-Luka trade?
Honestly, yeah.
BLT, before Luka trade.
Yeah, AD and BC.
But Caleb Martin is a really good defender. Max Christie's 22 years old.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna bet on Max Christie that he can be better. We saw some flashes from him with an offseason under his belt, playing next to Anthony Davis again, like getting some work from Kyrie. Like I think that's gonna help him a lot, and I'm gonna believe in him.
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm still in on Max Christie. All right, let me give you another one. You got to pick one of these 2 combos to have in Dallas: Daniel Gafford and Chris Paul, or Kobe White and Kai Jones.
What a combination. I'll take Gafford and Chris Paul.
Okay.
I'm confident in those 2 that they both play. I don't know that I'm confident that Kai Jones and that I know Kobe
Kai
White
Jones is
play.
your third center.
Kobe White, yeah. I mean,
I think I would do Kobe White and Kai Jones.
Well, just because you love Kobe White and he went to North Carolina with your North Carolina bias.
All right, let me do another trade.
We need to get you and Mike Richmond of Locked On Blazers on a show together because he went to North Carolina. He just always biased towards the North Carolina.
Talk about all the steals.
Yeah.
All right, let's say the Lakers
so
called,
love,
and the Lakers called and like, hey, listen, we need a center to play with Luka. Gafford played with him. We like it. We also really tried to sign Klay Thompson last offseason. So what if they said, hey, Gafford and Klay for Austin Reaves and Dorian?
Interesting. That one's interesting.
And does Dallas have to put the Lakers pick back in it? Going back.
Austin Reaves, Dorian, Gafford, and Klay. Yeah, I think the Mavs would have to add some value to that for sure.
And the Lakers pick back.
So then the Luka trade is Anthony Davis, Max Christie, Reaves and for Klay and
Luka and
Maxey
Klay
and Markieff Morris. I mean, I think I would do that. All of a sudden, your wing group is insane with adding Dorian to it.
Yeah.
but you're losing some shooting there, but you're getting some back with Austin Reaves, and you're getting the guard that you need in Austin Reaves. And I think that guard is more valuable than the center in that case. The playmaking can create his own shot, create a shot for somebody else. That one I think is more valuable.
The ages are kind of weird. Dorian's at 30, he's 32. Clay's 34, 35, whatever.
35.
And then both Gafford and Austin Reaves are both 26. So you'd have to look at some contract stuff in there. Like Austin Reaves has 2 years left on his deal. Dorian's going to be in he has a player option, but he could be a expiring contract and stuff. So yeah, anyway. Okay. So you'd take the Lakers package.
I think I would. I think I would do that because you need that guard. And with your other one, you get it with Kobe White for sure. But then the other one you also get like the
if
other.
If you swap Dorian out for Rui, does it change anything?
Well, in my heart, I feel less inclined to do it just because I want Dorian back.
What about a wing combination of Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, Dorian, Najee, Caleb Martin, and Max and Austin Reaves?
Oops, all wings. Also, that team is taking no crap from anybody.
No. I mean, they're switching everything. You have so many different combinations. You'd have to trade one of those guys to get another big in there and stuff. But I mean, talking about you can never have enough 6'6" to 6'9" guys.
Yeah, wow.
You'd have a million of them.
Coming up, let's get into some more either ors for the Mavericks. And I got one about something from the past. Were the Mavs smart or were the Mavs stupid? We'll talk about that.
I have some good ones.
Talk about that and more coming up. Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs. We are here all summer. We just did 2 episodes with Slightly Biased yesterday. The 3-man weave going strong yesterday. So go listen to that episode. Tomorrow we'll be back with more stuff as well. I keep saying stuff because we don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow. That's really bad podcasting, but we don't know.
I mean, we're looking forward to the draft and Cooper Flagg, but we're also seeing what rumors and drop and stuff too.
That's true. We're here for it. Come back tomorrow for the latest rumors. Is that better than stuff?
There you go. That's great.
That's better than stuff.
We're saving some off-season content for the dead months.
I got one for you.
All right.
Either the Mavs were smart or the Mavs were stupid when they tried to do this. Tried to trade Jalen Brunson for Tyrese Halliburton in that draft. Remember the Mavs they're trying so hard to trade Jalen Brunson to get Tyrese Halliburton. And now, like, when those two started meeting in the Eastern Conference Finals, I just thought, were the Mavs smart to try and go get Halliburton, or were they dumb to give up Brunson to go get Halliburton? Because they were going to have to give up Brunson and stuff. Yeah. To get it. And it still did end up not happening.
Yeah. I mean, they tried. I mean, it was on the table. So, God. No, I think they were smart. Yeah, I think they were smart. I do. I think the Halliburton Luka combination would have been, because you're talking about it was the year after the Luka Brunson draft, so you had rookie season, right? It was rookie season Brunson that you just came off of, and like, I think you bring in
Halliburton was in the 2020 draft, so it would have been
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 years into Brunson's career, and then I think they're smart for it. Yeah.
I think they're smart because this is one angle I thought about, that Halliburton would have been a first-round pick and they would have kept him because he would have been a restricted free agent by the end of that contract.
Yeah, and I think he would have shown early on, like, to have that size next to Luka and stuff too. And yeah, and you're also, I said this on Twitter tonight, and I think it probably came across as a jab to whatever, but it's like, to have a guy like Halliburton, what he's doing right now, and he's showing no signs of fatigue at the end of these games. Like, he's in great shape, and your superstar players running the show, and he's just like, I'm like, this is when everybody's gassed, right? Like, it's the late in the playoffs, late in these games, and they're do or die games, and he has 0 turnovers. Like, it's just insane.
15 assists, 0 turnovers. That just doesn't happen.
But I love Brunson. There's so much intertwined stuff in this Pacers Knicks series. There's assistant coaches on Indiana staff that went with Rick to Indiana that, a lot of people are still friends with here in Dallas. Obviously the Brunson stuff, Rick stuff, there's stuff there in the past, Rick Brunson stuff, Halliburton, Brunson, it's so much stuff. But anyway,
future former Mav Miles Turner.
Yes. All right. Let's go down a slightly dark path real quick, and let's say Kyrie doesn't come back.
Hold on real second. Okay, go ahead.
Cool light, bro. Let's say Kyrie doesn't come back,
Okay.
and Nico's like, I'm gonna swing for a big point guard. Ja or Trey?
Well, he had an 6'8" one.
Ja or Trey?
Oh my gosh. Give me Trae Young. I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good about that answer. I just don't know about John Morant staying healthy.
Yeah.
That's what kind of been the thing with him. And we can't have another healthy question mark on the team in a star player role. That is the thing I would like to avoid the most.
Seeing Trae Young in a Mavs jersey would be one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
So weird. Well, we already would know what he looks like in a Mavs draft hat.
Mavs hat, yes.
We have seen that.
I don't know what I'd say. John Dallas would be fun. God, that's tough. Just bring Kyrie back.
I was gonna say this can all be avoided if Kyrie just signs that contract.
All right, here's a couple fun ones. This one's impossible to say, but who finishes with more titles, Cooper Flagg or Luka?
Wow. I'm gonna go Cooper Flagg just because he's still on the Mavericks and hope.
Yeah.
That's my cope. That's my cope is that he also has more time. We've already seen 7 years of Luka's career go by.
Very true. Yeah, very true. But you could counter and say Luka's at a level that
he's already made the finals.
Hope Cooper Flagg can get these first team All NBAs and all the stuff.
It's full copium on my part for sure.
Best selling jersey next year for the Mavs, Anthony Davis or Kyrie? We're not counting Cooper Flagg.
Kyrie for sure.
Okay.
Kyrie is the highest sold jersey like in the NBA.
He is one, yeah. I put that because with Kyrie being out, and I was like, I wonder if Anthony Davis starts season healthy, he's killing, dominating, and it's like people are like,
that could happen.
I want the AD jersey as Kyrie's not playing. But Cooper Flagg, we agree, is going to be the top selling jersey for the Mavs.
Yeah.
Number 32, probably.
Mom.
Better Cooper Flagg or Chuck Cooperstein?
The radio voice of the Dallas Mavericks.
Is Coop like salty right now? His name
Do you think Coopers and Coopersteins have beef?
I mean, he's 100% going to be called Coop, right? Like that's going to be his, unless he has a nickname I don't know about, which I mean, he could.
Jason Kidd will call him CF. Like he'll just go initials and it'll sound really dumb.
Flagg is a good basketball player.
I'm not playing. I'm watching, just like you guys.
Yeah, I wonder if Chuck is like, dang, this is my corner. Like this is my name. And now he's going to come for my nickname.
Or if he's been pitching like a Coop's Corner for like every week on the radio broadcast, he gets Cooper Flagg on to do it like an interview.
I wonder if Cooper Flagg has to pay him to use the like a jersey number. He's like, hey, what's it going to take for you to allow me to have that nickname?
As Coop?
All right, last one. Who is better next year? Finishes the season further in the playoffs, Mavs or Lakers?
Oh, so tough. Give me the Mavs.
I'm taking Mavs.
Give me the Mavs.
Yeah, I'm taking Mavs. I mean, the Lakers are going to do something this offseason, but they still have some major flaws. And
they won't. I don't think they can fix their defense. The Mavs can create a capable enough offense. I don't think the Lakers can fix their defense in one offseason.
With Luka and LeBron.
With Luka, LeBron getting older, even Austin Reaves still that they're not going to trade. No center still.
Trade Austin Reaves, right?
They said they're not going to.
Okay.
Also, lots of things are said by lots of people about players.
There's probably a lot of things that they thought that they weren't going to be able to do, and they did. So
this is the most 2021 feeling podcast I think we've done for us.
What?
Feels like I'm back. Feels like we're back 2021.
Why? Why are we back in
This is a
2021?
game. This is a game we would play back then for sure.
Well, we break out games in the off season, but this is just another way to do buy or sell or
And it's also just been us like just chilling, talking back and forth on different guys.
that's true. Early pod days was just straight up just like, what do you want to talk about?
Didn't even come in.
So
with
how's
a
it
plan
Jose
some days.
Calderon? If but yeah. All right, cool. Sweet. We'll see what we talk about tomorrow.
Stuff. The latest Mavs rumors coming tomorrow. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us on the show today. That's what we are. You're just hanging out with us on the show talking Mavs. We'll be back tomorrow talking more about the latest rumors, about whatever else is happening. We also have the text line. You can text us and more stuff on that. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom.
Explain yourself.
Sorry.